welcome to Vishesh Educational Videos. In this video, I am discussing the characteristics of database approach. So before discussing the characteristics of the database approach, I want to discuss the difference between a file approach and the database approach. First, we will discuss the difference between the file approach and the database approach. Then we can move on to characteristics of the database approach. So let me start with the difference between file approach and the database approach. So what is the difference between file approach and the database approach? To explain this, I'm going to consider a scenario. So here I'm going to consider a college where each student data is maintained in a file. So every student data is going to be maintained in a file. So which approach this is? This is a file processing approach. So every student data is maintained in a file and needed by more than one department. So you know that, right? For example, computer science department student data is also needed for accounts department, or the same student data is also needed for the transport department, right? So here the same file is maintained in different departments. Getting, guys? Here the same student file is going to be the same student data is going to be maintained in different departments. Same file is maintained in different departments. This is the file processing approach. But what is the disadvantage of this file processing approach? Why I need a database approach? See here. So in this approach, in file processing approach, the data redundancy will occur. So why? You can ask a question. How, sir? How means, see here. So the same student data is maintained in account department also. Same student data is maintained in transport department also. Instead of that, I can maintain a single place where here both the departments can access the data. So here in the file approach, it's not a case. I need to develop separate file of a same student for separate departments. So obviously same data is stored in different places. Same data is stored in different places. That's why this is nothing but data redundancy, unwanted data, right? So what is the disadvantage? Means data redundancy will waste the storage space, right? It wastes the storage space. And one more important thing, if you want to change any data in the file, you want to make the change in all the files. This leads to duplication of effort. Duplication of effort means, for example, if you change the name of the student in a file, the name of the student need to be changed in account department file also. The name of the student needs to be changed in transport department file also. Getting, guys? So you need to, if you want to do any changes, you have to do the changes in all the files that uses the particular data. Getting? So this is the disadvantage of a file approach. But I can overcome this. And one more important thing, if you make changes to the particular file, the changes needs to be made in all the files. Suppose if you make changes in one copy and the remaining copy is not going to be changed, means that is going to result in inconsistency. Getting, guys? Inconsistency results when one copy of a data is changed but not other copies. You have to make the changes in all the copies. So I can overcome this disadvantages of file approach in a database approach. So what is a database approach? So in the database approach, a single repository of data is maintained. That means I'm going to use the data in only one place. I'm going to use the file in only one place, and that the same file can be used by any number of departments. Here I'm not going to store the data in different files. No, each data is in only one file. The same file can be used by different departments. Same file can be used by transport department also. Same file can be used by account departments also. Getting, guys? See, you will understand this. See, So in the file approach, you can see here file 1, file 2, file 3. How many files are there here? 3 files. This is the example. So in this file, what is the information is there? XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. So you can see same information. XYZ is the same information, but it is used by CS department also. It is XYZ is the same information is used by mechanical department also. XYZ information is used by the civil department also. Getting, guys? That's why each department they are maintaining separate files. So how many files are there? 3 files are storing the same information. This is redundancy. But in database approach, see here, only one file is there. What is the content here? XYZ. So same file, only one file is there in a database. The same file can be accessed by CS also, same file can be accessed by mechanical also, same file can be accessed by civil also. Only one file is maintained in a centralized way, then that file is accessed by different departments. See how many files are there in database approach? Only one file. So this is going to avoid redundancy. Getting, guys? So this is the difference between a file approach and a database approach. So which one is better here? Database approach is better here. Getting, guys? So now we will move on to the characteristics of database approach. So what is the characteristics of a database approach? The first characteristic is self-description. In a simple words, see, a database should store the data along with the metadata. What I told? A database system should store the data along with the metadata. That metadata is also called as the dictionary. Don't get confused, guys. See, the metadata means what? Data means what? See. So this is the data. So here this is the sales data. You can see here. So month, forecast, sales, variation. So how many data are there here? So these are all the data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12 data are there here. 12 records are there. But what is a metadata? Metadata means the data that is going to define another data. See, month is a metadata, forecast is a metadata, sales is a metadata, variation is a metadata. In simple words, metadata means it is going to tell about the structure of the data, how you need to store the data. It is month should be stored in the integer format, forecast should be stored in the integer format, sales should be stored in an integer format. See, in which way you have to store the data. Metadata is going to tell about the data. It is going to define about another data. Getting, guys? Understood the difference? So this is the self-description of the approach of the database. Database itself is going to tell in which way you need to store the data in the database. For example, I told you, right? Here this metadata is telling that I have to store the month data in an integer format, forecast data in a integer format, sales data in an integer format, like that. Getting, guys? So database along with storing the data, it contains the metadata also. If I say a database is nothing but a collection of metadata plus data. Metadata plus data. Getting, guys? So metadata contains a complete definition or description of the database structure and conditions. Getting, guys? So metadata you can see here. This is the complete definition. It is going to tell the complete details how your data should be stored here. Right? This is the data. It is going to define another data. Getting, guys? Right? So this is the main advantage. This is the main characteristics of a database approach. Along with the storing the data, it is going to tell how you need to store the data. What is the data structure you need to use? What are the conditions you need to use? Now, what is the condition here? This condition is the month. Month should be in this format only. Integer should be in this format only. Those details will also be there in the metadata. Getting, guys? So this is the self-description approach. Suppose if you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the comment section. what is the second characteristic? Second characteristic is insulation between programs and data. Here, this insulation can be divided into two types of features. First is a program data independence. Second is a data abstraction. So I'm going to explain program data independence first. Then I'm going to explain what is a data abstraction. These are the remaining characteristics. So program data independence means what? In traditional file processing, the structure of the data files accessed by application is hard coded in its source code. So to understand this in a more better way, see here, see this diagram here. So see, very simple, don't get confused. So in a file approach, you can see this is the file 1 and this is the file 2. So what are the contents of these files? So both the file contains a name Vishesh J and it contains the designation professor. You can see in a file approach, in both the file contains the name information of a person and designation information of a person. But see, now if you want to change the name format to only first name, so what is the format now? First name and the last name. Vishesh is the first name, J is the last name. But suppose now you want to change this information that is stored in a file in such a way that the name should contain only the first name. So now what is the problem here means, then you have to change the program itself, right? Because here I can't simply delete the last name because here if I want to delete it, then again I have to go to the program itself and I have to make the changes. Here also same thing. In this file also, if you want to make the changes, I have to change the program itself. Getting, guys? Because file while developing the file, they developed like this, because the name should be in the format of first name and the last name. Suppose I need to change the format, I need to change the program of that particular file itself. If it's a file 1 also, that is a separate program, I have to change it. If it's a file 2, then for file 2 also there will be a separate program, so I have to change it. So this is the disadvantage in file approach. The insulation is not there. If you want to make a changes, directly you want to make a changes in the program only. But in database approach, it's not a case. See, so in database approach, you can see the first name is there, last name is there, designation is there. So Vishesh J professor is there. So now if you want to remove the last name, what you have to do means just remove this field. Right? You have to just remove the field LN. Changes will be reflected in all the places where this data is used. Right? So once if you remove this field, that is more than enough. Just you are changing what? Metadata. Here you are not changing the, in your file you are changing the program, but in your database approach you are not changing the program, just you are deleting the field, just you are changing the metadata, that's all. Once you change this, once you delete this field, all the changes will be reflected in all the places where the data is used. So no program is changed here. Understood, guys? Here the program that is used for the file should be changed here in file approach, but in database approach only the metadata can be changed. No program should be changed. Getting, guys? So this is nothing but program data independence. Data is different and our program is different in database. I'm not going to touch the program. But in file approach, it's not a case. If you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the comment section. Next, data abstraction means what? Data abstraction means a data model is used to hide the storage details. Very simple. Data abstraction means I am going to hide the storage details from the user. I am going to hide the storage details from the user. Let me see this. See here. So this is a database. So here, what are the informations? Name is Vishesh J. Designation is assistant professor, college CIT, Mandya. This is my information. This is the screen where a user sees, right? User is going to see only this information, name, designation, college. But these details, see the storage details, name is a data type. Name data type is which type of data type it is? Character. What is the size you have allocated for this name? 40. So now designation, which is what type of data type I'm going to use for a designation? Data type, again it's a char. What is the size I assigned for this designation assistant professor? 30. So here what I am doing, I'm hiding these details, I'm hiding this data type size details, I'm hiding this type of storage details from the user. User is only seeing the information, user is not seeing the storage related data, only the information is seeing, only the implementation details he is not seeing, storage details he is not seeing. This is the data abstraction. User won't see the details, these details, that is implementation details. He is going to see only the information related to that particular file. So this is nothing but a data abstraction. So data abstraction and program data independence both are related to insulation between programs and the data. Getting, guys? So program is different, data is different in database approach. Data, you are not going to change the program, just you are going to change the data, that's all. You have seen that, right? Here also the details, storage details, you are not going to see, only you are going to see this. You are going to hide these details from the user. Getting, guys? Next characteristics, multiple views of the data. See here, different users, right, have different views or perspectives on the database. Don't get confused. See here, for example, to make this understand for you people, so see here, this is the database contain the details of student and the marks scored by each student. Here how many students are there? Here 4 students are there, and the marks, so marks secured by each student is also there. So Harsha marks is 30, Vishnu marks is 40, Raghu marks is 45, Vishesh marks is 100. So here see, multiple views will be presented for multiple users. See, when a student want to see the marks, student will only see his marks. Suppose if Harsha want to see the marks, Harsha will see only his marks. Harsha is not interested in other people marks. See, view 1, Harsha is seeing, the name is Harsha, marks is 30. This is Harsha's computer. In database, all the data is present in the database itself, but Harsha is seeing only the information that is interested to him. View 1. In the same way, view 2. View 2, Vishnu will only view his information. View 3, Raghu will view only his information. So here what I am doing, I am same data, but I am providing multiple views for different users. Only the interested content of that particular users will be displayed. Getting, guys? Right? So one more important thing. So why we need this view feature? Right? View feature is a mandatory feature for all the database. Right? Suppose if you want to especially the perspectives, different perspectives, here Harsha's perspective is different, Vishnu's perspective is different, Raghu's perspective is different. This feature need to be supported by all the databases, because all the users doesn't want every user doesn't want all the data. Getting, guys? Harsha doesn't want Vishnu, Raghu and Vishesh data. Harsha want only his data. That's why multiple views should be supported for multiple users. His view is different, others view is different. Hope you understood, guys. So if you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the comment section. Next, last feature is data sharing and multiple user transaction processing. You know that if I say a database, not only the single user is going to use the database, multiple users can use the database simultaneously. So we have seen that here, where in the school example, here also we have seen that. See, database can be used by Harsha, database can be used by Vishnu, database can be used by Raghu. Same database can be shared by different users simultaneously. For example, in a railway ticket reservation system, multiple users can book the ticket at the same time. Getting, guys? So this is data sharing. If I say a database, then the data in the database need to be shared between different users simultaneously. You need to allow that feature. Getting, guys? Example, you know that in railway ticket reservation system, multiple users can book the ticket at the same time. Yes, it is possible. Multiple users are using the railway database at the same time. But remember, when you allowed the multiple processing, concurrency control feature should be there. You can ask a question, what is a concurrency control? Concurrency control means, in a simple word, see, in a railway ticket reservation system, when one user is booking the ticket, for example, consider user is booking the ticket for seat number 30. He is booking the ticket for seat number 30. When a user is booking the seat number 30, at the same time another user is also going to try to reserve the ticket for the same seat number 30. Then it should not allow the second user to book the ticket for the seat number, because already one user is booking the ticket for the seat number 30. That's why when a second user tries to reserve the ticket for seat number 30 simultaneously, it should avoid it. It should not give permission for the second user. That is the concurrency control. Yes, concurrency means both the users can use this database at the same time, but after the first person finished the booking of the ticket, then it can allow the second person to book the ticket for different seats. Getting, guys? In a simple word, this is a concurrency control. And one more important thing, transaction processing means what? Transaction processing means this one, railway ticket reservation system. So when a user book the ticket, booking a ticket is nothing but a transaction. So database, in a simple words, database can be also used online. So e-commerce, Amazon, Flipkart, all are example for online transaction processing. You are going to book the you are going to order something in the e-commerce website, means ordering means what? You are going to doing a transaction. So database, right, is nothing but a database. Online database is nothing but you are going to do a transaction processing. Online transaction you are going to do using the database. That is also possible. If I say a database, not only offline, database should be used online also. That is online transaction processing. So these are the 4 characteristics of the database. Self-description nature of the database, where that means along with storing the data, database is also going to use the dictionary or a system catalog, and it is also called as metadata. You know that, right? So along with storing the data, it's also going to store the information, how data is going to be stored, what is the structure, in which way you are going to store the data, and also what are the conditions. Conditions means what are the conditions for a data? Size, I told you, size needs to be 30, size needs to be 15, that's a condition. Those details will also be there in the metadata. That is the first feature. Second feature, I told you about the insulation between the program and the data. There we discussed about the 2 features, program data independence and the data abstraction. So program data independence means what? If you want to make the changes to the file, you have to directly change the program itself in a file approach. But in the database approach, if you want to make the changes, just change the metadata, just change that field. The changes will be reflected, right, reflected in all the places where the data is used. That is program data independence. You are not going to touch the program, you are going to do the changes to only to the data. That is the first feature. And data abstraction means you are going to hide the implementation details or storage details from the user, right? So here user is going to see only the information, the coding part, the storage details, all those things won't be seen by the particular user. That is the second characteristic. Third characteristic, multiple views. So if different users will be interested in different data in the database. All the data will be in the database itself, but not all the people want all the data. Only the interested only the interested contents they want. According to their interest, they want the data. So I need to provide separate views for separate users. Lastly, I need to allow database to be shared between different users simultaneously. So if I say a database, it is not only the offline database should be online, because I know I told you about the railway ticket reservation system where multiple users can book the ticket at the same time. In a online they will do that, right? So concurrency control should be there. So but two users, if two users try to book the ticket at the same time, that should not be allowed. It should be controlled, right? So that's it, guys. Hope you understood the concepts. Suppose if you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the comment section. Thank you.